Psychology is all around us. Psychological elements can be seen throughout the lifespan, from birth until death. Films are a wonderful tool to explain psychological theory and occurrences in our lives. Characters interact within each frame of film psychological concepts. The films we remember most and view multiple times engage us by capturing the presence of these psychological dynamics in an authentic way. Join me today, Dr. Catherine Marshall Woods, licensed clinical psychologist and film consultant, and my guests today, DeNeer Davis and Anthony Alderman, discussing the film Neering Perfection on the best psychology of film. Welcome everyone to Best Psychology in Film. Today we have a very special opportunity to be able to speak to two individuals today who worked on the project Neering Perfection. Today we have Anthony as well as DeNeer joining us. Thank you so much for joining.
My pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. So Neering Perfection is a perfect film, actually. It is truly a gift to be able to watch. For those who enjoy inspirational films, those who enjoy heartwarming films, those that experience and enjoy watching things that are life-changing, this is what we have here. But this is my perspective, so why don't we hear from Anthony, who's the filmmaker, and DeNeer, who's the subject of the film. From your perspective, what is Neering Perfection?
Thank you, Catherine. Those are very kind words and very encouraging. I appreciate them very much. Neering Perfection is the attempt of Second Street Productions to tell a story that will inspire people, whether things are going good in your life and it's only up, or things aren't so good in your life. I think the story that I learned about DeNeer Davis's life really encouraged me, and I really wanted to capture that inspiration in a way that it could be felt and experienced by others. So that was the attempt, and feedback like yours is very gratifying. And the other feedback we've gotten is that it has, for many people, been just that. So that is very, very encouraging. And of course, we couldn't do it without the star of the show, DeNeer Davis. So I'll pass it off to you, DeNeer.
I feel like we did something, I want to use the word monumental and epic. It has gotten a lot of great feedback. It's been amazing. It was amazing working with Anthony and telling the story and just being my authentic self and speaking on my journey and being vulnerable. And it just felt like this really safe space to talk about who I was and also share who I was to be able, or who I am, and my story and my journey, to be able to inspire a lot of people. And we have inspired a lot of people.
Awesome.
Well, without further ado, why don't we give the audience an opportunity to see a little bit of Neering Perfection, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
My name is Alberta Davis. DeNeer's my granddaughter. I've been knowing her all her life.
Oh, man. It's a million things I can say about this woman, but I'm gonna just say she's my best friend. If I ain't have support from my grandma, I'm gonna be 100% honest, I don't know. I was back and forth from my parents' home, so she made sure I was safe. Whether for me, my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, whatever, she never turned us away. I was working at Wendy's one night, and we were about to shut the dining room down, but it was just like any normal night, and heard the door go off. And next thing I know, I heard, lay down, this a stick up. So I was like, oh, this ain't real. Did a double take, and he had the gun laying on the soda machine, and it was looking me dead in my face, and I was like, oh, shit. I remember his eyes were like, they were piercing yellow. That's all I could see was like these piercing yellow eyes. Like, I won't forget that.
I had dreams of playing in the WNBA, and the dream was realistic. It really was happening for me. And then I ended up getting hurt. I ended up tearing my ACL. In life, if you ever had something that you loved so much and you just really knew this thing was gonna take you places, and then it's just taken away. It's like taking a bottle from a baby when they're hungry. Yeah, it hurt.
I ain't seen nobody in my family go to therapy. And if they go to therapy, they don't talk about it. So it was really hard to ask for help, but it was worth it. And in my first session, like I just cried. Stuff I dealt with in my childhood was one of the reasons why. I also think I had to forgive myself for some of the things I've done to other people because I was like an aggressive person. So, you know, we talk about like abusive relationships a lot. And here I am walking around like everything cool and I've been an abuser, you know? So that's what therapy helped me.
Okay. There's so much, at least from a psychological perspective. One of the things that I want to just, begin talking about is the artwork that's shown in this film. In particular, there's a lot of things that make this a beautiful film, but that's one of it, is how aesthetically pleasing this film is. How important was it for you, Anthony, to be able to capture her work in this way?
Yeah, so film being a visual medium, and my background being more writing, I was like, this just helps so much to let the amazing art do a lot of the heavy lifting of being compelling, especially in a piece that isn't, driven by the drama between characters, being a documentary. So yeah, it was a huge emphasis from the beginning when I was working up the sort of pitch, because you can hire directors, but if you want people good, like we had a really amazing director, Cole Gibson, to be fully invested, they've got to catch the vision. And Cole and our camera crew, when they saw the vision before they got there, we had DeNeer's images in front of them, and so they were ready to show up and film it in a way that it really, works on screen, not just. It's one thing to just take a picture of it, but you've got to do it in a way that really jumps out at the audience. So it was huge. It was a huge part of our effort from the beginning.
DeNeer, is that what you also envisioned?
Yeah, I pitched Anthony some dates that I would be doing particular events, and I wanted to capture the essence because a lot of my story you can't see, right? Anthony can't capture the things that happen in a documentary that I talked about prior to the artwork. So we needed to be able to capture the beauty of the work, to see and hear like how I used to be versus how I am now. You can see the transition, the change. And with us going to the art show, we were able to capture what things were and how people showed up. So I think having the artwork in there was a big deal for me. And I think Anthony as well.
One of the things that I was really moved by, I actually obviously had an opportunity to meet Anthony at a film festival within DC. And one thing that I was moved by was when Anthony indicated that within the story that's being told to the public, this is only an aspect of you, DeNeer, that there was a mutual respect that happened between you and the storytelling that said there will be boundaries regarding what the public will be able to see. And I want to make sure that this space also honors those boundaries equally. For the part of the stories that you did share about your life, why did you want those aspects to be included?
More importantly, mental health. I wanted to talk about how my mind came out of this space and it's in this other space, and authentically you can feel it. It's not just me talking about it because it's a good thing to talk about or it's commercial or I'm making money off of it. It's a genuine thing that happened, and with genuine documentation and genuine, like I'm a real person, and this really happened to me, and I was actually able to come out on the other side better. So I wanted to share those parts so you could know that whatever you're going through, or if you are going through something, you take the necessary steps to get out on the other side because it gets better.
So really a story of hope for people.
Yes.
Anthony, how hard was it to create a film with boundaries? Most filmmakers, they may not enjoy that so much.
Well, when you're in this rich environment with so much that you're just like, wow, this the more time I spent with DeNeer and learning about her story, the more amazed I was about who I was talking to today. I was just like, wow, it just got truly, it's incredible near where you're at. And it's a testament to yourself, your family, and to the goodness of the universe, honestly. So that was difficult, Catherine. I won't pretend that it wasn't difficult to walk away and leave so much of the story that I feel like is even more profound, and leave it alone. It's not the story we were telling. It wasn't the intention to ever. It was only to inspire and then to uplift DeNeer and her career. And the last thing Melissa, my partner and co-executive producer, wanted was to, create additional trauma through this event. We only wanted positivity for it. So it was a choice to walk away from those parts of the story that DeNeer was not comfortable telling. And I'm really glad we did. Obviously, like that's the right thing to do, and the work of the film, it's doing its work, and so it's all a great success as far as I'm concerned. But yes, it was a choice to walk away from the stories.
Well, what is the work actually that is happening? You're saying that the film is doing its job, really, which is fantastic. I mean, I've had an opportunity to see the both of you in action talking about the film, but can you share a little bit about what feedback you are receiving? What work has it done for the community?
When I'm out in public, people keep hugging me and telling me that the people that showed up for the film itself keep hugging me and telling me thank you for sharing the story. Like they never knew, and working on themselves, things I recommended, and they're just starting to try it. And so that's the feedback I'm getting. And people are trying to travel when we show where it's at. Where can they go see it? And that's what I've been getting on my side. And a lot of thank yous and a lot of hugs, a lot of tears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the film has hardly been. I mean, it's been in several film festivals, and the trailer is out. We haven't put it out to the public broadly yet. Short documentaries don't really get distribution, but we're looking at a YouTube channel or two, and if nothing else, it'll be up on, Vimeo or whatnot. But I believe, like immediately after the film, someone came and is looking for another basketball court to be painted, and so and just I've had the same response from people, just how excited they are to have been a part, especially of that premiere, which the energy in that room was incredible. But just seeing the film, it really does move people, and a big part of it for me was to give DeNeer something to help not just promote herself, but to help her in her work. She goes into schools, she's working with the community. This film, my idea is that it will be something that she can use in those spaces to sort of lay the groundwork the day before she shows up. If it's a classroom, they watch it. Now she shows up in that, they've already got some of her story down, and it just sort of levels the playing field for her, sort of prepares the way. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what work is going to do as it gets more exposure. It's still early in the life of what this is.
Yeah, I do want to be clear with the audience. I'm not sure if we'll have an opportunity to be able to show all of the work that you're doing, DeNeer, but your work has been more than just therapy services for your mental health. Can you talk a little bit about all of the things that you've done in order to assist yourself and how people are connecting to that?
So I started meditating, which was unheard of. I changed the way I eat. I started reading more, just thinking more positive, journaling, praying, and those were the top 5 things I started doing a lot, and I still do them every day. So that's what I did, and got around people that could help uplift me and push me.
I want to just share all of the things that you noted doing on a daily basis is no easy feat. So where would your motivation come from exactly?
My motivation comes from I know what it's like to be in a space of chaos. And now that I'm in this space of peace, it feels so good. It feels so good that I'm just like that. The thought of going back to chaos keeps me going every day. Like this peace is it's undescribable. I don't have a word for it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like Anthony said, we only tipped the iceberg of the story, but it was so much. So now the thought of like, man, I can't go back there. It's a beautiful thing.
One of the things that I found very compelling about the film is that it highlights these things that you've done in order to maintain your mental health, and obviously how transformative it's been for you and the people even around you. I mean, at let's say the premiere, I saw your family is there and things of sort, and so it seems like that it hasn't just changed you, but it's also changed people around you as well.
Yeah. Even hearing Anthony approach me about things changing him, like because you change yourself and you don't really see what's happening around you because you're you until someone tells you. So even my brother, my family, my grandmother, like the understanding they're getting to who I am and why I am and what was happening in my mind, because you can see someone on the outside and they might look 100% fine to you, but you never know what's happening on the inside. Never, unless they tell you. So for me, everybody's seeing the inside come out, like they're seeing how happy I am now and feeling it. It's changed my family.
I know we are going to need to take a break, but when we come back, I definitely want to jump right back into that space if you don't mind. We'll be back after these moments.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you wanna talk about it? Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad. Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Welcome back, everyone. Today we have two individuals who worked on the film Neering Perfection, Anthony and DeNeer. Thank you so much for joining us today.
For having us.
Thank you.
We ended talking about the impact this work has been on people around you. And did you find, DeNeer, that the people around you began to change or shift as you were shifting? Or do you feel like you've seen more of their shifts now since they've seen the film?
I think the changes started happening slowly over time. It didn't happen immediately. At first, it was kind of like a joke, like things that were happening because they never heard of what I was doing. It was unheard of. And so over time, as they saw me become a different person, they embraced it. And then after seeing the film, I want to speak highly on my grandma. She really, like, her wanting the film is major for me. Like,
Me too.
That brings me joy. So that's a change right there. That's a change.
And the film, if I can just add to that, is meant to amplify DeNeer's message, I won't say validate, but it was a considerable effort to create this, We're not a large production company. It's just a mom and pop shop kind of deal, but it still it was not easy for us. But I hope that the people recognize that we did this in order to, because that's how important we think this message is. You know, we invested our time and our resources in it because we feel like we're doing something good for the world. I mean, really, this is a message that can impact anyone who watches it tremendously, seeing DeNeer and experiencing DeNeer's journey. So I'm hopeful that it continues to amplify DeNeer's career and her message as she goes forth in the world.
You know, I'm curious, Anthony, there are times when filmmakers in particular have something that they want to show the public and they go out and search for it and say, I'd like to do something about mental health or mental health concerns, and I'm going to search for a story. How did you land upon wanting to do something with DeNeer? Did you already have in mind that mental health stories are important to the community and that's what I'd like to show and that's the next project I'd like to do? Or were you moved by DeNeer in such capacities that you're like, it's time to do this sort of project?
So my arc in film is short. I haven't been at it that long, but my background being, drama and theater and then going into business, I kind of set that aside. And I kind of got the film bug writing a screenplay with a buddy, and I had an idea to make this feature, and it was a pet project. It was just meant to be fun. And that I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. It was just for the work and the investment it was going to take for something fun. I was like, this is just not worth it, man. Like, what am I doing here? So like, I kind of set that aside. And I was like, I want to do something meaningful, something impactful before I sort of set this aside and focus on other things. And we've done a short promotional video for my father, who is a artist. He does a lot of work, Tony Alderman, out on the eastern coast of North Carolina, about fishing towns, and it's sort of this very niche, passion of his to document these fishing villages that are fading away. And it kind of had this like meaningful tone to it. I was like, well, maybe we do something like that about an artist. And that's when I thought of DeNeer, because DeNeer was someone that I had met completely randomly, but who had made a pretty impactful impact, had an impact on my life afar, just literally on Facebook. Seeing her story was really powerful for me. So when I put all those things together, DeNeer came to mind, and so I approached her, and we did the thing, So that's where that came from. I didn't have a specific idea, except that I wanted to do something meaningful with all the stuff we built for the silly thing. So
if I want
something meaningful with it.
Like, if I could jump in,
yeah,
the thing that made it like great for me was I always write, I want to impact. Like, I just want to inspire and impact people to just be the best version of themselves. And when Anthony came, I was like, man, this is a time, to speak on, just be vulnerable, tell your story. And if it was able to inspire him, like, we can get the message out to people and reach, and people can get the resources they need, or they can try this new thing, or they can just find their own peace and be the best version of themselves. So that's what was great about it for me.
I wonder, DeNeer, individuals do things for all sorts of motivations. Did you begin your journey of healing because you thought someone would find you like Anthony?
No, I began my journey, honestly, I began my journey because I tried so many things. And this new form, this meditation popped up on the scene. And I was like, okay, let's try this. And let's try reading. And let's try just being. And it happened. And then with the art, my art changed. Like my art got brighter. And I think that like with the art getting brighter, it attracted like what I needed in life with me. So with my healing journey, it healed my art, it healed me, and it allowed me the space to open up to people. And with that, I actually never knew this was going to happen. I didn't put this in my manifest journal. So this when he approached, I was like, oh, this is a good way for people who might not even ever heard of mental health. They actually might feel okay, but not be okay and don't know where to start. This is good.
Yeah, and I've been there too. And talking to DeNeer, it was evident she had no designs to be famous, like that sort of clawing energy for recognition, which I'm familiar with, never came across, and we had lots of conversations about this before we began. I mean, numerous. And her positivity and her groundedness, and I could see it's like, what is happening? Like, are we doing a movie about me? Like, what is this about? And I could see that going on, but she always stayed so grounded, so in her message, so in her, practices. I just felt amazed. I was like, yeah, this is for real. Like, she can handle this as well as she has a story to tell, because I could see that might not be everybody, And I was pitching to the director, and he's like, okay, all right. Like, I like the idea. And I sent him the artwork, and he called me after the first time he talked to DeNeer, and he was like, oh man, she's legit. She's a star. Like, she has the charisma, she has the articulation, she does the work of the art, and really cares, and she's grounded. She knows who she is and what she's about, and not everybody knows that, and so obviously it helped that DeNeer is a very charismatic human being when doing this documentary. So very charismatic star, very visual, bright. I'd say, from a filmmaking perspective, this is a slam dunk.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today on Best Psychology in Film. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you are able to see Neering Perfection when it comes to a film festival near you, and or when it is broadcasted and distributed widely. Please take a moment to watch this film. As we've said, it's not only been life-changing for those involved, but it has the opportunity to move you towards healing as well. We wish you the best. Have a good one.